Actually here with some friends down in Florida from Pepin in Tampa and City Beverages in Orlando. Guys, gentlemen, you want to introduce yourselves real quick?
Absolutely. Thanks for having us on the show. Greg McLeod here at Pepin Distributing Company, based here in sunny Florida, Tampa.
Louis Eastip out of Orlando, Florida, City Beverages.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for taking the time. Actually going to start with Louis, you there in City. And I know you've had a big evolution in terms of bees and how bees has been integrated within your organization and your teams. And what's some of that like? Where'd you start?
Shortly after we started hearing more and more about AB and the bees program and so forth, so bees offered some attributes that we liked better. The bees has an option for our Hispanic customers that they can view it in Spanish. It also is a mobile base, where our previous one was just a desktop. So that limited our customers of what they can do with the program. So we really liked what we saw with bees and decided to migrate over to the bees platform. So we started with our pro sale counts, and we gave a timeline to our sales team to transfer our accounts from the VIP portal over to the bees platform. We wanted to be 50% of our pro sale in 3 months, and then the remaining 50% in the following 3 months. So in a year's time, we were able to transfer all of our pro sale accounts over to the bees platform.
Okay, and this was in 2020, and then you've expanded since then?
We converted all of our pro sale accounts over to the bees platform. 1,400 accounts are currently on bees.
And Greg, at Pepin, how was kind of the transformation? Where did you start, and where have you landed today?
Bees came out, and we had a chance to really test drive it, and we took a look at the app, and the app was just, intuitive, very easy to use, and that was the first evolution of it. Obviously, it's come a significant way. We've seen multiple changes to it, but like City Beverage, we targeted the telesale accounts because they were the easy ones to go out and get sometimes. But what we learned very quickly, we talked to David Stokes a little bit, and his ambition of what he had done early on in the process was go to those accounts that are really computer savvy and want to go to the app, and you're going to find a lot more success. And so we did exactly that. And a lot of those accounts aren't your telesale accounts, they're your bigger accounts. And those big accounts really became what I call lighthouse accounts, and they really drove others to adopt the platform. So I would say we started small. We started in telesale, and where it's evolved to at this point in time has been very encouraging. So we're somewhat in what I call phase 2 of where we want to be, and that's adoption from our own team. They're really believing in the platform and what it can do moving forward. So we're ready to push it and go to the next level.
Talking about the ability to deliver content to retailers, right? And they're key customers for us. So how have you started to think about that through bees, and whether it's organizationally or from your teams, what is it really that you're leveraging to do that?
Well, when you look at the priority calendar and how Anheuser-Busch has laid it out in a very systematic way, from the top down in New York to the region offices to where we are in the state of Florida, it's very clear. And what our marketing team does is say, all right, well, now directionally, how can we control that content that comes down? And so from an evolution standpoint, we can take the priority calendar where Bud Light and Ultra are huge in January for Super Bowl and roll it right into Kona the next month. It's seamless, and it really targets right to the retailer, making that change.
One question that we've heard from folks a lot is kind of how are you building education and understanding for retailers on how to use the platform?
Well, we've gone through and we've educated all our team members, all our sales reps on how to properly sign a customer up on the bees platform.
Certainly education is very important, and just understanding how the app works, but actually going on site and doing coaching visits with the sales team and actually signing up the retailer. We find it's maybe one time you sign them up, but sometimes it's 2 and 3 times that you actually run them through an order, because when you actually run them through an order, it populates in their queue what products are there. So the next time they go back to the app to place the order, like, oh, all the products are still there. Yeah, they're still there. Oh, well, here's what you start to build that inventory management mechanism within the app, and then they begin to see the power of it. So doing that coaching visit up front, signing them up, and then doing a follow-up visit with an order is tremendous on getting retention on bees.
I did a tutorial, having never actually used the app myself before, at Pepin, my distributor locally here. And in the 10 minutes that I was first introduced to it, it became just super easy to navigate. Everything kind of just made sense as far as actually using the app itself. And it didn't take me long to get extremely comfortable with it. And as a result, it has made the ordering process incredibly easy.
Lewis, when you look at the transformation that you've had from kind of that first point of entry, what have been the main learnings or inflection points for your sales reps? I would imagine that it wasn't, the light didn't turn on immediately.
Yeah, I think some of the key things that we did is it has to be top of mind. Bees has to be top of mind at all times. It has to be talked about in every single one of our sales meetings. It's on our PFP goals every month. We educate all of our sales team of how to recruit and enlist people into our customers into the Bees platform, on how to sign them up on the Bees platform. We have our customer service rep, so when people call in or customers call in, she can walk them through the process as well. So everybody's been educated on the proper way of signing folks up to the Bees platform. And if she cannot answer their questions on the phone, we have reps that go out in person and walk them through in person of how to get through the app.
And how has that helped the overall sales reps? I'd imagine quite a bit.
It's key for us that once a customer signs up on the Bees, to keep them on the Bees platform. If they have any questions, we're there for them.
So, Lewis, when you think about for City Beverage, where you began with the sales reps to today, how have you seen their comfort level evolve? What about their behavior and how they're going to market has changed?
I think the first phase is getting them to understand that Bees is not there to replace them. That's key. And once they see and they understand that and the benefits of Bees, giving them more time to upsell with their customers, they see the benefits on the invoices, on each of the purchases from our customers. It encourages them to sign up more and more accounts on the Bees and educate them, but also show them the benefits of Bees and what the Bees can do for them as a customer. As they're shopping through our portfolio of products, they can see, purchase histories, they can see products available that they might be interested in. So there's a lot of benefits that the customers bring to their attention, and they really enjoy it.
Digital transformation, digital ordering is not unique to us as an alcohol category. It's pretty consistent across all the products that our stores are selling, be it on premise or off. But of course, one of the questions always comes, is this here to replace my job? And when you talk to your teams and you feel or see anxiety about the role that Bees plays in their roles, right, their positions, how have you worked through some of that? And what has been the coaching or additional process objective changes that you've implemented to get sales reps more comfortable using the tool and seeing it as an asset, not a risk?
I would say it took 6 to 8 months for them to understand that it could save time and help them. We're all tasked to get a job done in a certain amount of time. And it probably took 2 or 3 reps that solved it, and they really improved their days a week. So one would target like a Thursday, and they would knock out 8 to 10 of their accounts. And he would go back and tell the rest of the sales force, look, I just gained half a day. Even though he still needs to go to the account and sell, but I could go in with sales documents and point of sale and selling the features that he or she needs to sell in a more effective way. And somebody's like, wow, how's Jim doing that? How's Stephanie going out and getting all this done? Well, she's sold it into Bees, so she has more time to sell. So all of a sudden now she's hitting her PFP. She's getting her objectives done. So she's getting paid more money. She's selling more, and she's getting paid more for hitting her PFP objectives. So that's part of that evolution. That's why I feel like we're in phase 2. Phase 1 was tough to get through. Phase 2, they're starting to see the adoption, and no way, shape, or form are we walking away from sales reps. There's a vital role out there for them to go out and sell more.
I have a great sales rep. Shout out Mike Rupert. He's the man. It hasn't changed our relationship necessarily because I still see him often multiple times per week. We're still connected via text or phone or email, whatever the case may be. And so having that great support in addition to a tremendous app, it hasn't changed that relationship.
I think the folks that are using the Bees platform properly are being successful in all areas. They're successful with their incentives. They're successful getting their PFP goals done every month, getting their distribution goals up. And it's because Bees has allowed them the time to do so.
And Greg, just as you look at your own sales reps and internally, how have you seen the adoption at the team leader or your area managers in terms of the platform? How are they leveraging it? How has it changed the sales process for you all?
It's really changed their whole process because they spend so much less time in some of those accounts doing inventory and really doing the ordering process and putting that back on the retailer. And it's freed up the time to be able to sell in distribution, sell in specials, sell in all the important attributes that we want to get done during those times.
I agree with Greg there. Less time in the cooler taking inventory and more face time with the buyer on upselling on our portfolio. And in today's environment, that flexibility for the retailer, he may go into work and the hostess may have called in sick or the line cook may have called in sick and they're busy. So the flexibility that they can go and order on their own time when they want is huge.
So when you think about the network and some of the questions you've gotten from your peers, right, how have you addressed them? How have you talked to folks who are still uncertain or uneasy about what the opportunities are or how to leverage with their teams?
Anheuser-Busch is dead on by saying, hey, by showing bees and presenting it to your retailers, that subset of accounts is actually ordering more product in a wider portfolio than the ones that are not. And so that will change over time, but you've got to get behind it now. I mean, it's moving fast. Your food retailers, your other alcohol providers, your NA suppliers that are out there, they're all using this. And if you're not using it, you're already late to the game.
I would agree. I think it's important to make that commitment, and it needs to be top of mind. In every meeting, the team needs to know we're serious about this. Bees is not going away. This is the future of this industry, and that needs to be communicated to the team in every meeting. And the second thing is patience. We have to be patient. This is a slow process signing people up. And the last thing is, once you get a customer signed up, don't go back to the legacy, the old-fashioned way of taking their order. Continue to educate them so that they can continue to learn and place their own orders in.
Bees to me is the easiest way to get all the products that I need without having to bother my rep to no end. It is a very simple, very easy to navigate, very user-friendly platform that again allows me to order all of my products very seamlessly and to make sure that I'm getting everything that I've ordered and getting continuous updates via email to ensure that basically everything that I've asked for is going to show up when it's supposed to.
So before we close out, going to put both of you on the spot a little bit here. When you look to next year, what would you say is your big ambition, your hope that you'll be able to deliver from a continued digital integration perspective within both your businesses?
It's scaled to a whole nother level, like way beyond where I thought we were going to be. I mean, we are talking about the ambition of 80, 90% on-premise adoption, potentially 50% off-premise adoption. So to a whole nother level that we weren't even anticipating to really change the framework of how our sales process is going to work.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd like to get about 80% of our small format independent accounts signed up on Bees so that our sales reps have more time to sell in these accounts. I think there's a lot of opportunities within our independent segment that we could take advantage of with the Bees platform.
So you talked a little bit about some of the bigger accounts. Do you have any idea about what percent of your dollars are going through Bees from an on-premise?
Roughly 80% of our accounts that are on Bees are on-premise. As a percentage as a whole, we look at it more as dollars than we do as accounts. While we have probably roughly 600 accounts on and 200 that are off-premise, we're driving roughly probably about $1.6 million of invoice through on-premise and then the rest in off-premise. So that's how we look at it.
You both have mentioned a little bit of this evolution, right? Phase one being building the muscle memory that a tool exists and going after some of the low-hanging fruit, evolving to bigger accounts, really integrating within your organizations. What does the future look like for both of you in terms of phase 3 or next year in Bees? How do you keep pushing the ball forward?
Long term, our ability to communicate directly to a retailer through an application on a special or a new product that's coming out is very powerful. And so the broader we get this app, the more leverage we have to get our products out there and sell. I mean, no different than us doing an ad on TV. Now we can connect right to the end buyer. I mean, that's extremely powerful.
It was going to generate some business. We get some more.
You know, back when you transitioned from a BlackBerry to an iPhone and it felt weird at first, with a single click is extremely helpful in being able to kind of forecast what you're going to need in the future.
It's very interesting to see how your evolution has gone, and I think that Rome wasn't built in a day. It's something you've been building on every month, and now ultimately, you know, in your third year, right? I think, Greg, you hit the nail on the head there with the ability to talk to retailers. You know that there's 500,000 accounts in the U.S. and the chance to share more information for them, branding information is great, led by you all, and talking to them in their own language is also incredibly valuable. Greg, you mentioned something earlier around, I think 600, you had about 800 total accounts, 200 were in the off-premise, which isn't something we've talked a lot about bees. So how does off-premise, or maybe more specifically independent C-store, fall into your plans for the future, or even what you've learned today?
For retailers to be able to see our actual inventories, what's sitting in our warehouse right now, and pivot off of maybe an Ultra 24-pack bottle that wasn't in stock and pivot to an 18-pack bottle that may have been in stock, having a bees to solve that problem was great.
We're buzzing over here at American Social, and I would recommend that anybody that's trying to get product delivered on time and in an efficient manner to utilize it, because like I said, the more that you use it, the more it kind of gets customized towards your specific orders. There are apps for ordering different products unrelated to the beverage side. I have found them to be relatively easy to navigate, but I can honestly say that the Bees is by far the most efficient one that I have utilized. That has played a tremendous role in making me more efficient as a beverage manager and making sure that I'm ordering all the right products. And again, it's awesome. It really is.